6 weeks ago, I had a heart attack at 44 years old, and it changed me. It changed the way I look at life, the way I want to go moving forward, and I want to tell you my story today. I don't think I've fully processed this whole thing yet, so these are just my current thoughts about all of it, and you'll probably notice a shift in the way that I move forward in my videos. It's going to be more about living, and I'm going to share that journey with you. So I first want to tell you what happened and the symptoms, which are not like in the movies where someone clutches their chest and falls over and they're like, I'm having a heart attack. It wasn't like that at all. And often for women, it isn't like that. The week before my heart attack, I was feeling like every time I exerted energy, I felt like my lungs were burning a little bit. And then also my shoulder blades had very deep aching pain. And I just thought it was from my administration typing job that I have. My wrists were also sore. But again, it was that same kind of ache that just felt like it was from overuse or sitting improperly for long periods of time. But that was actually one of the pre-symptoms to my heart attack. Then on the Sunday morning at about 6 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I felt like I had heartburn. It felt like a different heartburn than I've had in the past. It felt like a bubble sitting in my chest in the middle right here, and it wouldn't go away. I tried all the things, apple cider vinegar. I tried eating a piece of toast, things like that, and it just would not go away. And then after an hour or two, I started to feel sick. And I just felt very sick to my stomach. And then about an hour after that, I started to feel breathless, like winded. I felt like I had run up 2 flights of stairs, but I hadn't. And that's when I thought, this might be more serious. And I looked it up, like I was talking to ChatGPT, honestly. And it said at that point, you need to go and seek medical attention. So I called a neighbor and she drove me to the ER. And I walked in. I wasn't incapacitated. I wasn't in extreme pain. But I felt inside that something was wrong. I honestly didn't think I was having a heart attack. But I thought in that tiny little case that I need to get in quickly. I don't want to downplay it just in case it is something serious. So I said that to the nurse. I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And they got me in very quickly. And I really, truly thought they were going to come back and say, it's not a heart attack. Don't worry. You have heartburn and you're having a panic attack. I really thought that's what they were going to say. But then they started to kind of go like fast paced around me. They had me hooked up to monitors. They gave me an aspirin. They said, take this right now. They did an ECG. They took blood work right away, and they were like, you are having a heart attack. I had a 100% blockage in one of my arteries, and they took me immediately, sirens and lights, to a city about 20 minutes away where they do the stents. And the whole time in the ambulance, I was talking to them. I was fully awake, fully aware. I said, like, how serious is this? They were like, well, you are having a heart attack. It's pretty serious, but, you're talking to us, you're joking around. So, things are going to be fine. They were very uplifting. They were wonderful. Actually, all the nurses, doctors, and EMT were amazing. And I remember even asking, hey, when we get there, I said, hey, when we get there, can I go to the bathroom first before I go in to get the stent? And they were like, no, you need to go straight in. I think they were probably thinking, okay, chick, this is serious. They didn't say that to me, but yeah, they said no. So went in for the stent. They did it right away. Basically, they went up through my wrist. These 2 dots are from that procedure, and it's pretty amazing that they can do that. They go up through the artery in your wrist and into the artery of your heart, and they place a little stent, which is like a little metal mesh cylinder. It pushes open the artery that's blocked. And then after that, I went into the ICU, and the cardiologist came in and was talking to me, and he looked extremely concerned. He said, you have 2 other blockages that are 85% and 89% blocked. And we're trying to decide right now whether to go in and do them, because your heart's been through so much. We don't want to, put it under so much more stress, or try and deal with it with medication over the next few weeks and then come in and do it. And in my spirit, I felt like I wanted to just do it while I was there. But obviously I wanted to do what was safest. And so they decided the next day, on the Monday, to do that procedure. Now that one did not feel great. I was much more aware. We were awake for these, by the way. I was much more aware of it because they couldn't give me a ton of medication because my heart had already been under so much stress that, they don't want to give you a stroke or another heart attack or anything like that. So they placed 2 more stents. And I remember going back up to the room, and I was being pushed on a bed, and I saw the cardiologist, and he had a big smile on his face, and he was like, I'm so happy with how that went, like so happy. And in that moment, I kind of realized that it could have been a different outcome. I think when he was looking at me so concerned before the 2nd and 3rd stent, because I was so peaceful, I thought, why are you so concerned? Like, this is going to be fine. And it was fine. And I am okay. And I'm so, so thankful. But I know that it could have been a different outcome. Now I know that. Now, in the hospital, I had some friends, my brother, people came to visit me, and they kept me very calm. I was pretty calm anyway, but having them there just gave me that extra security and encouragement that reminded me that everything was going to be okay. And more than once, people sent me Psalm 91. And so I want to read you a couple of lines from it. This is what got me through. I felt like there was a storm going on around me, but I was protected. He's the hope that holds me and the stronghold to shelter me, the only God for me and my great confidence. He will rescue you from every hidden trap of the enemy. His massive arms are wrapped around you. You will never worry about an attack of evil forces at night, nor have a fear of spirit of darkness coming against you. You'll even walk unharmed among the fiercest covers of darkness. The Lord has spoken, and this part has been huge for me. I hear it inside all the time. The Lord has spoken, because you have loved me and have been loyal to my name, I will greatly protect you. I will answer your cry for help every time you pray, and you will feel my presence in your time of trouble. And I so did. I so felt God's presence in my time of trouble. I felt protected. I felt enveloped in his protection, under his wings, under his covering. I look back at being in the hospital, and it's not a feeling of trauma. It's a feeling of feeling protected and unafraid and peaceful and honestly a little cozy. I felt kind of cozy and taken care of. And I'm so grateful for that, because I could look back at that and feel traumatized, and I don't. This is one of my favorite lines. I will satisfy you with a full life and with all that I do for you. I will satisfy you with a full life. And I truly believe that. Like, I have this level of gratitude that is hard to even express. And actually, when I was released, the cardiologist was beaming. He said, there is no better outcome. Your heart is not damaged. And we are taking you off several medications because your heart is beating so strongly. He was beaming and I was beaming and we were both smiling. And he was just basically like, this is the best possible outcome for what you came in with. And I was just like, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And when I left the hospital, I stayed with family friends. This couple was friends with my parents. My parents passed away 17 years ago, if you don't know that, but they were really good friends with them. And they took care of me like they were my own parents. I used to think that if something bad happened to me, that I would be alone because I'm single and I don't have parents. And this just proved to me that people actually love me. I felt surrounded by love and care, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, I was taken care of beautifully, and, you know, she made me meals that were so healthy because she knew I wanted that. And she even put my socks on for me. Yeah, it was, I'm just very grateful for the love and support. I had a friend come and do my dishes for me and clean my kitchen because I had left dishes. I didn't expect that I was going to be in the hospital and then not home for days and days. And I had friends come and grab me clothes, and I had people support me financially. I had people offer to make me food, drive me to appointments. So where I am in my recovery process now, I am home full time. I have been for a couple weeks now. And I make my own food. I go grocery shopping, things like that. But I do still get tired quite quickly. I have about 2 or 3 hours of energy in me every day, and then I'm tired. So I do something and then I rest, and I do something and then I rest. And this has really forced me to rest and to reevaluate my life in so many ways. One of which is not being in survival mode all the time. I was at about 70% whole foods and 30% not so great before this, and I was losing weight, and I make a ton of healthy decisions in my everyday life. I am now eating 99% whole foods. I have cut out processed sugar and flour, and so I'm at like the 6-week mark of having those cut out, and I don't think about food all the time anymore. I know that I was addicted to sugar, and cutting it out has made my mood more stable, has made me feel just more calm around food. I feel more satiated eating whole foods. So that's where I am in that recovery process. I'm still healing. I still rest a lot. I'm still not working full time. Well, actually, I'm not working very much right now. And I'm trying to decide which avenue to go down now, where I can live peacefully and not always in survival mode moving forward. Because I think that stress factor needs to be eliminated from my life as much as possible. I do still sometimes have little chest pains, which are super annoying because, well, nobody likes them, but after you've had a heart attack, when you feel like a pain in your chest for several hours, it's unnerving. But again, I go back to Psalm 91, and I do know that this is normal. You do get pains in your chest or little aches because your healing inside is healing, and your heart and insides have been through trauma, right? So it's part of the process. I am doing much better, but I am still healing, and not just physically, but emotionally as well. I've had a lot of realizations, one of which is that I have not made a lot of space for just living, for ordinary, beautiful life, and just enjoying the moment for what it is. I have often been in survival mode for 17 or 18 years. Like since my mom got sick and then when my parents passed away 17 years ago, I've been in survival mode. I've been through so much, a lot for one person. And I don't think I ever learned to truly let things go. And obviously that sat in my body a lot. And obviously that also drove me to use food as a comfort. And I'm aware of that. I don't know exactly what caused my heart attack. They don't know exactly. They do say that stress is a huge factor in people having heart attacks. I postponed joy a lot. I thought, oh, I'll do that in a year, or I was so focused on future goals, but I think I was so focused on living in my dream life in the future that I forgot I was living right now. Life is happening right now, and I'm not going to waste away the days that I have right now. And that is a huge realization for me. And that I don't want to live in survival mode anymore. I don't want to live in stress and survival mode anymore, because it's harmful to the body and it's not fun. That's the other thing, is like, it's not fun. I want to have more fun. I do. I want to have more fun and live every day to the fullest. I also isolated myself a lot, not on purpose, but because I was just like, go, go, go. I took every work shift I could. I used to bartend like a year ago, and I missed so many weekends and so many weekends of people getting together, and I couldn't go because I was working. I missed a lot of life because I was working, or because I never turned down a shift. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to live. And I live alone, which I love, by the way, until, I meet my future husband. But it does bring in some isolation living alone. So I know that I need to intentionally make more connections with people that I love. Another thing I realized is that I've had low to high stress humming or screaming. Humming when it's low, screaming when it's high inside my body for literally 17 years. I know and realize that I want to live differently in every aspect. Not under pressure to do that, but just little decisions every single day. So the things that I am changing moving forward are more peace, less hustle, and I'm cutting out the traffic. I want to slow down. I want to see people more consistently. I want to be okay with resting and prioritizing rest and not feeling guilty. I always feel guilty, and I'm sure that comes from something in my childhood where if I rest or I'm not doing anything on a Saturday and I don't do anything, like nothing productive, I feel guilty. But even God rested. I'm going to continue with eating whole foods, 99% whole foods. No processed sugar. I cannot add that back into my life, not even on my birthday, not even on Christmas. I am addicted to processed sugar, and I need to look at it like an alcoholic sees alcohol, in the way that you can't just have a little bit and then walk away from it. And I'm going to be doing another video about that. I'm going to do exercise that nourishes my body and doesn't punish my body. I want to do things like yoga and go kayaking. I've never been kayaking, but I really want to. And the walking is something I'm going to continue. And I am back to about 2 kilometers a day, which is just over a mile for you Americans. So it's slow going, but I know that I'm getting better every day. I want to travel. I keep putting off travel because I always feel like it has to be expensive. And I'm coming up with some really cool ways to travel without spending a ton of money. And I can't wait to show and share that with you in other videos moving forward, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. And I'm truly excited about that. I have had so much time to think about this stuff and look into it, and I'm going to be sharing that. So I can't wait for that. And, yeah, just generally less hustle, more life. Ordinary, beautiful moments that I'm going to be present in. I'm thankful for my life and for the people who have surrounded me with love and prayer. I'm thankful that God showed me his protection in such a real way, that I had such peace through this. Moments of a little bit of, panic, but overall peace and coziness. I'm so thankful that I was taken care of and loved. And I do know that this experience changed something inside of me, and I'm not going to let go of that moving forward. More connection, more peace, more laughter, more travel. And maybe that's what I'm meant to learn. Maybe that's it. Some people have asked me how they can help. I am not working yet fully, and bills still have to be paid. And so there is a link down below in the description for a Give, Send, Go. It's like a GoFundMe. And if you feel like you want to donate, I would be so grateful. Thank you for being here. Much love. Bye.